Assalamu alaikum. I hope everyone is doing well. We will be going over some information for our upcoming trip, inshallah, which is departing on the 23rd and coming back on the 1st of January. So, without any further ado, we will be talking about a few things today, inshallah. One, we will be introducing our group leaders. We will talk about the flight information, the Saudi schedule. We will go over the apps and permits, and inshallah, the current Zamzam policy. So, without any delay, inshallah, I just want to introduce two of our team members who will be at IAD airport, inshallah. They will be giving you our bag, so you have that you use during your Umrah. You put your slippers and everything in there, and they will give you a quick meet and greet too, inshallah. And I will be the one receiving you in Jeddah airport, inshallah. So, if I can have brother TJ, if he can just come on camera, so people can recognize you when they come to the airport.
Assalamu alaikum, and inshallah, I'll see you at the airport.
Inshallah.
Inshallah. And then we also have Brother Samiuddin, who will also be at the airport, inshallah, seeing everyone. If I can also have him just come on camera quickly so everyone can recognize him as well. And by the way, most of our staff, they're always in some Ainul Harman t-shirts or gear, so it will be pretty easy to recognize them, inshallah.
Brother Harun, do you want to preview what the Ainul Harmin gear looks like for us?
So it will have some logo on it, inshallah, on the front and the back, and we're usually wearing blue, so inshallah, it will be pretty easy to spot. So this is Brother Samiuddin, inshallah. Hopefully, you're easily able to recognize them. Their numbers will also be posted in the group, just in case you can't find them at the airport.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, I will see you at the airport, IAD.
All right, Jazakallah khair. And then our another team member we have is Sister Rahima. She will be advising us on all the applications and permits today, inshallah.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone. I'm the group facilitator. I'm also kind of the tech person here. So any questions that you have regarding technology, apps, all of that fun stuff, inshallah, I'm really looking forward to this trip and hopefully being helpful to everyone. I also provide guidance for the women on any of aspects of the trip that, are particular to us women. And so everyone has my number already. It's in the group chat. So always, please feel free to reach out.
All right, Jazakallah khair. So, inshallah, I want to go ahead and jump into the schedule for this trip. Just give us 1 second while we share the schedule on the screen and go over it, inshallah. All right. So the flight will be departing from IAD Airport on Friday, which is the 23rd. And everyone will arrive in Jeddah Airport, inshallah. And then from there, we will be taking a bus to Medina. You will have 1 day rest after you arrive in Medina. And then we have our historical tours on the 26th. 27th is a free day. And then on the 28th, inshallah, we will be departing to Makkah for our Umrah. So this day is a little bit. We do want everyone to wear their ihram before they get on the bus. Miqat is about 20 minutes away. We stop over there, we pray 2 rakats, and we make our intention for Umrah. And then we are on our way to Makkah, inshallah. And we do perform the Umrah on the same day. And then once you perform your Umrah, we don't want to do any activities the following day. So we keep it open. And then you have your Friday prayer on the 30th. On the 31st, we have our historical tours. And then we have our flight on the 1st, which is a AM flight. So it's approximately 8:45 a.m. So we will be departing for the airport, inshallah, approximately 3 to 3:30 a.m. in the morning. And we do pay for the night, so you don't need to worry about leaving the room on Saturday. So go ahead, take some rest, inshallah, and we will be posting all the information in the groups when we need to depart, what time we're leaving, and we also have a lot of reminders. So inshallah, we're looking forward to serving you in our Washington D.C. group, inshallah, from the 23rd till the 1st. And another important aspect of the trip is actually apps and permits. So I do want to hand it over to Sister Rahima so she can cover apps and permits and guide you a little bit better on what needs to happen.
Yeah, inshallah. Thank you so much. So, um, firstly, I want to talk a little bit about what the needs are going to be on this trip for your technology, right? So the first thing that you're absolutely going to need is a smartphone, a phone that you can download apps onto, and things like that. So the reason you need that is you're going to be downloading an app called Nusuk. So if you're already in that WhatsApp group, you've probably received the information for the Nusuk app. If you've ever been on Umrah before, post-pandemic, this app used to be called Itmarna. It's now changed to Nusuk. They revamped it a little bit. And so that's really important that we get that downloaded. Secondly, after you've got a smartphone, it's really important that that phone has the capacity to be connected to the internet during your trip in Saudi. So you could do this in a couple different ways. You could go for a data roaming plan from the state. So you talk to your carrier here and just find out whether or not you have data abroad, or if you could add that to your plan if that's something that you're looking to do. Conversely, you could also get a local SIM while you're in Saudi and get their local data, which also runs really well, and that will help your phone stay connected. I do know of people who have worked off of the Wi-Fi that's available for them, but I would probably recommend, if you're going to use that option, that what I mean. It's what I mean to say is that you could use that option, but I have seen in the past it would not work out so well. So that's something I wouldn't personally recommend. I would recommend going for something where you have internet on your phone all the time while you're there, because this app, it constantly runs on internet. It's not just, you make your permits and you're done. So now I've been speaking a lot about this app. I want to actually give you guys a preview of what it looks like. So I'm just going to start sharing from my phone really quickly. Bear with me, please. I think you should be able to see it now. All right, great. Okay, so the Nusuk app is this one in the top left corner right here. So you would click on this. It's this little brown one. If you, again, have gone before, you've used to it being green. Like I said, they revamped it, give it a new look. So it's this brown one right here, and you click on it, and this would be your main page in the Nusuk app, right? And so again, if you're in that WhatsApp group, you've already gotten the directions, you know what to do at this step, but I just kind of want to walk everyone through it just in case. So we're going to go ahead and work together and make an Umrah permit. All right, so the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to locate the Umrah tab on this page, right? So it's not the first row, but the second row. You'd click on Umrah, and from here, you're going to see this screen. Either you'll see a blank box or a box with your name on it. You'll click check and continue, right? And then once you're here, it'll load all the possible dates that are currently open for Umrah slots. So now if you're looking at this, you're going to say, we don't even get to Makkah, till the 28th. I can't make my permit yet. And you're absolutely correct. They roll these out on kind of a weekly basis. So it's just imperative to keep checking it every day, and we have an expectation that they should be rolling out within the next couple of days. We also check in and post it in the WhatsApp group. So it's really important to make sure that we're all in there and checking those notifications, right? So let's just make a permit for the sake of making one. I'm going to go for the 21st, right? And let's say I know I'm reaching Makkah, for example, by like whatever 1800, meaning 6 p.m. And I know I need a little bit of time, so I'm just going to choose this time slot, right? Just for example. Now, one thing to note when you get to this step is these timings are in military timing, a military format. So you don't want to accidentally, get a time slot for 2 o'clock thinking it's 2 p.m. and it's actually 2 a.m., right? So just be careful of that, right? So when it says, 2:01 to 400, it basically means 2 a.m. to 4 a.m., whereas where it says, 14 o'clock, that's where it's 2 p.m., right? So just being mindful of that. I have had people have that issue in the past. Now, you go down and you'd select obligation to see the instructions. If you'd like to read the instructions, you just click on that box right there.
Can
And
I
then,
ask a question?
sure.
Do we need to fill that form now or when we go there?
That's a really great question, brother. And that's actually the next thing that I was about to get to, is that we want to make sure that you're able to get this done as soon as possible. right? Because we don't want it to be that the permits, the Umrah is not something we're so worried about because of the fact that Umrah, they're really letting people in without checking for the. Brother, I'm just going to ask you to go on mute because I think there's a little bit of an echo. Yeah, okay. So yes, they're not really checking for the Umrah permit so much, but where it really gets important is for the Roda, right? And I'm actually going to show you guys where you get the Roda permits from as well, because there it is extremely restricted to you must have the permit, it must be for the correct timing, and you must be there early, right? We've had horror stories where someone's like, I was there at the time of my permit and they didn't let me in because 15 minutes had as you can see, these are 30-minute slots, so she came in 15 minutes after the timing. So it's really, really important with the Roda not to take any risks. So your schedule from now. We've already sent over the documents, the ones that have your schedules. Please make sure you're scheduling it for a time that you can actually go and you can actually, you'll be available to go in. But let's say for some reason you thought you would be able to go in, maybe you're not feeling well, whatever, right? And you want to cancel a permit, that's very simple as well, so long as the time hasn't started. So for example, my permit is for 2000. So when I feel that I can't make it to this permit before that timing, I can easily cancel the permit, right now I know it's active because it's got a green light in the top right corner and it's blinking. I can just press cancel permit, right, and I can agree yes, and now you'll see that green blinking light goes away and instead it's stamped with canceled, which means my permit has been canceled, right? And so it's really important to do that before, so that way we don't have any issues at the time of making a Roda permit. Is exactly the same as making an Umrah permit. The only difference is to get there, you're going to be clicking down here where it says Prophet Mosque Services, praying in the Noble Roda men if you're a man, and praying in the Noble Roda women if you're a female, right? And the other thing I just want to explain on this app is sometimes you want to go back and check. Maybe you forgot what time you made your permit for. That's really easy too. At the bottom where you see the home, right next to it on the right, you'll see the word permits. So you can click on permits, right? And so if you go to active permits, we actually just canceled our permits. So we have currently no active permits, but you can go to past permits and see permits that have already passed, and then cancel permits. This is the permit that we just canceled, right? For the 21st of December. Right. And so that's where you can go back and let's say, you find out the timing doesn't work for you. We already talked about how you can cancel a permit. So like I said, the Umrah permits, they are letting people in so long as they're in ihram for the men, and for the women, just kind of letting them in and not checking them. But, we have the availability and we have the resources, so it's not a problem for us. We can make the Umrah permit. The Roda permit is really where we want to make sure that everybody gets a chance to do that. And that's why if you look in the group chat, we've actually shared a document that lets you know the dates and times that are going to work best with the group schedule, and then you can see on there what timings actually will work best for you personally, right? Like if you have a certain day where you're going out, or you want to give yourself a rest day, you have all these opportunities. The other thing I want to mention with the Roda permits, they're once in every 30 days.
For sisters and brothers, for
Sorry about
Rauda,
the technical difficulties, that they're once in every 30 days. So you want to make sure that you're using a time slot that's going to work best for you.
Brother, if you can, please,
Right.
let's
And so,
wait
Brother Harun, I
for
know
a
that
few
there's
minutes.
something that you wanted to mention in regards to the men's side, I
Yeah.
believe for Salam.
And I also want to mention that we're going to, inshallah, take all the questions at the end. We just have a little bit of information we want to cover, inshallah. We're going to go over any questions anyone may have. Just give us a few minutes, inshallah. There's a little bit more information left. So for the men, you don't need a permit if you just want to go give salam, and the best timings to go is after midnight. It's really empty over there, and you are able to take kids. If anyone is traveling with kids, that's the best time to actually take them and do salam. And other than that, please, if you have any issues activating the app, and you're not able to, get all the information out of all the instructions we posted in the group, please let us know so we can assist you. And if you haven't received your visas, we will be sharing our office number as well, inshallah, so you can reach out to us and ask for your visas as well, because that's the information you will need to activate the Nuzuk app. Other than that, like the men permits and the women permits, they are separate. So we want to make sure everyone understands that you do need a separate account for each member of the family. So that is a requirement from the Saudi government, and unfortunately, we cannot do anything where one family can take out permits together in one app. You do need a separate application for each family member as well. And I know there is quite a few questions regarding the Nuzuk app. So I just want to cover one last thing, and then inshallah we can jump into our Q&A. And then any questions anyone may have, they can ask. So regarding the Zamzam policy, they are not allowing us to bring back Zamzam on Saudi Airline. In the past, people have put Zamzam in their luggages. It does get left behind sometimes, where you get the luggage back after like a week or two. So we don't advise you to take the risk, but it's completely up to you if you would like to do it. And that was the last bit of information, inshallah. I do want to open it up. I know there's going to be a lot of questions regarding Nuzuk, so let's try to cover as much as possible, inshallah. If anyone has any questions, inshallah, you can. All right, yes, brother Imran.
So, do you need the Nusuk app just to enter and do tawaf as well, or to perform like prayers, or just enter into the two mosques, or is it only for the Roda and Umrah?
It
So
is.
previously, I'm sure you've had this experience, that anyone who's gone before, that when they first opened after COVID, they had a lot of restrictions, and that was the case. But now, alhamdulillah, they've opened it up a lot, and there's only 2 activities in the entire trip that you need permits for. Is number 1 is Umrah, and number 2 is visiting the Roda, right? So like brother said, there's no permit that you need for Salam. There's no permit you need to enter the masjid. There's no permit you need for any salahs, or even for tawaf, right? Tawaf is being allowed from the first floor, not the ground mataf floor where the Kaaba is, but from the first floor, the ring around it, for anyone who's not in ihram. And if you're in ihram, even then you're allowed to go straight into the mataf. So there's only 2 things that you need a permit for, which you'll see.
Got it.
For
And for a lot of people like myself, like I haven't gone after COVID. Is there something that you can tell us, like what has changed since then, since COVID? Is there any requirements like masks like are required now?
So
or
they've actually dropped both the masking requirement and the vaccination requirement. So in that aspect, you are good. We're, I think, a little bit far removed from the pandemic now. But this is one of those things which is new post-pandemic, and it seems like it's here to stay. So we want to make sure that everybody's able to get the app and get registered on the app as well.
Okay. And I mean, obviously, all of us have registered for the trip, but some of us may not have gotten our visa numbers. Do you guys already have those for everyone who's on this call? Because we need those for the app, I guess.
Correct. You should be receiving your visa numbers in your email. So I would check your email for that.
So inshallah, we will be sharing right after we end the meeting. Inshallah, we will be sharing the office number. Just send us a message with your name if you have not received your visas yet, because your visa number is on your visas. I think there is only maybe 1 visa or 2 visas that are pending within this group, but everyone else is done. And then I think we have a few visas that have not expired yet. So we cannot issue any new visas till they don't expire. So I believe there's only 1 family of 4 people. Their visas expiring in a few days, inshallah, and we will get those issued as well. But everyone, pretty much is cleared within this group, inshallah. And if you haven't received the visas, you will receive them shortly. One more thing I wanted to mention before we take more questions. We have the barcode for the group also viewing. We have the link in the chat as well. Please have all family members join the group. Sometimes, you may be having technical difficulty on the phone that you joined the group with. And we wanted to make sure that if one person misses the notification in the family, the rest of the people can get the notification. And we do constantly post in the group all reminders, any activities we're doing. So the group is a very important place where you want to be within that group and making sure that you get all the information that is required during this trip. I see a few more hands up, Brother Mukhtar and Brother Raj, if you want to unmute yourself, inshallah, and ask.
Yes, sure. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. I'm happy to be here. And my question is related to the trip to from Medina to Mecca, and I believe we're gonna be performing Umrah on that same day, right, or the following day.
We will be performing Umrah inshallah on the same day.
Yeah.
Our goal is that you get the Umrah done, or at least we depart to do the Umrah sometime after Isha. So we're looking at around 8:30. That is a little bit better because a lot of people try to perform Umrah around Maghrib and Isha time. So we want to make sure when we go with the group, we're going at a time where we can keep the group together, inshallah, and bring them back to the hotel. So that is our scheduled time. When it comes to the permits, we would like everyone to take out a permit approximately any time that's available from 6 p.m. all the way till midnight. Because they're not really checking permits that much. As long as you have a permit, you're okay, even if they're checking. So we will post that time. I believe we do have those timings. Mr. Rahima, if you can display the permit timings on the screen.
Absolutely. We'll do that right now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Another question again, and I do. How far is the hotel from the Haram?
Hotels are very close in both places. So we're staying in Aqiq in Medina, which is less than a minute walk. You're in Haram. It's very close to one of the women's gate where they can go inside and pray in Masjid Nawawi. And right next to it is basically the men's gate as well too. So men's, they have multiple entrances. But the women, it gets really packed. So the closer you are, the better. And in Makkah, we're staying in Fairmount Clock Tower, which is also very, very close to Haram as well too. So in a couple of minutes, once you exit, you're like right in Haram.
Okay. I think now my last question is, except from the Umrah and the visit of the holy places, everybody in the group is free, to go to the masjid and do, his
That
whatever.
is actually a very good question. So the activities we do as a group are historical tours anytime we're transporting you. So anytime we're moving from one place to another place, those are group activities. And the only required activities for the group which you have to do with the group are when we're basically doing the transportation. So when we move from the airport to the hotel, from our Medina hotel to Makkah hotel, and from Makkah hotel back to the airport. Historical tours are optional. Many people, they go a few times and they don't want to join the historical tour. So you're more than welcome to join us. But if you decide not to go, that's up to you, inshallah.
Okay.
So the group activities are mainly like we will have inshallah a walking tour as well for Haram too, so we can show you where to go give salam, where to enter in from, and for the women and for the men, where to get online to go pray in the Noble Roda. These things we will show you, but the time slots you take out, we want you to take it out as per your convenience, so you don't get locked into a time. And let's say you're not feeling well, or maybe everyone is a little bit different when they go to Saudi. Some people, they like to sleep after Fajr. Some people, they sleep at night. So we want you to do the activities as per your schedule and your needs, inshallah.
Okay. One last question. Like, I am
Yes,
a
bro.
first timer and I haven't been to any Umrah before, and even in Saudi Arabia. Is there any resources you can direct me
We
to?
will be sharing resources in the group as well relating to Umrah, and any questions you have, I will be on the trip with you as well too, inshallah. And we have other group leaders as well. So approach us at any time. That's what we're here for. We're here to take care of you. So during the trip, inshallah, that's what we do. We provide you with the resources. Any questions you may still have, we're available to answer those questions, inshallah.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. We have a few more hands up. I saw brother Raj's hand up. If he wants to come off mute, inshallah, and ask his questions, and then we can continue from there.
Yes. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
I have so many questions. Again, the first time, but I'll start with some basic ones. So you mentioned about having the app installed on each individual device for each family member.
For each family member, you will need a separate device, a separate number, a separate email. So that is unfortunately, the requirement on their end. I know it should be a little bit simpler if you're traveling with kids, but unfortunately, you will need a separate device for each family member.
Okay, so we'll need the SIM cards, I guess, there. Okay. All right. So for these individual appointments that you mentioned for Rauda and Umrah, so are there going to be time slots that we go as a group and also keep these individual time slots just in case we don't like the group timing?
So the Roda, we don't do that as a group, but the
Okay.
Umrah, we do it that as a group. And like I said, like the activities are optional to go with the group. If you decide to go on your own, inshallah, you're more than welcome to do so. But for the group, we will be performing our Umrah on that evening when we arrive in Makkah. So we do decide on the time after we arrive in Makkah, because sometimes the group, everyone is like, we're ready to go. If I see, people they're feeling a little tired, we like to give them a little bit extra rest. So it depends on the group situation, because it's not one person that just performing Umrah. It's a group as a whole. So we would like to see the whole situation. So I can't give an exact time right now, but approximately it will be sometime after Isha, inshallah.
Okay, thank you.
You're
So
welcome.
once we receive, just walking myself through this. So we receive the visa details from you for individual people, and then we install this Nuzuk app and then create the logins, individual logins, and then is that what that RODA permit is through the app?
It's
We book
through the
those.
app. The Roda
Okay.
permit and the Umrah permit is through the app. So once you receive your visas, you should be good to go to activate that app, inshallah. But the permits right now, they're not open for our dates. We just
Right.
want everyone to be prepared. We're not too worried about the men, because the men permit slots are always open for the Roda. The issue is the women permit slots, they fill up really fast. So the whole purpose of doing the meeting, I think it would have been much better to do it next week, but it might have been too late for the women to take out their permits. So we want to make sure everyone is prepared well in advance, and they can go ahead and take out the permits for the time when we're going to be there, inshallah.
Okay, thank you. Any other
You're welcome.
questions? You have any questions? Oh, I do have one last question. Sorry. So
No
when do
problem.
we wear ihram, and is that in the flight
So you
itself?
will no. We are going Medina first, so you will wear your ihram, inshallah, before coming downstairs when we depart for Makkah. We want everyone to wear the ihram from the hotel. So we have a quick stop on Miqat where we pray 2 rakats and make our intention for Umrah. And then we move to Makkah from there. So it's a 20-minute ride from there. And it's much easier to wear it in the hotel room than it is to actually go and wear it at Miqat. So we require everyone to wear the ihram from the hotel and then come and sit on the bus, inshallah, and then we depart.
So from here, we just wear our normal clothes.
Yeah, you wear your normal clothes. You will be only wearing the ihram for that one particular day, unless you decide to do more umrahs after reaching Makkah. So for your second umrah, a lot of people, they like to do, like multiple umrahs. So if you decide to do another umrah, you can go to Masjid Aisha, make intention, and perform another umrah if you like.
Okay, thank you.
You're
Jazakallah.
welcome. Wa iyyakum.
I have
I
a question here
brother,
regarding the ihram.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that, brother?
Yes, regarding the ihram, are we being provided, or it's something we have to buy on site?
You have to buy it yourself. I do suggest to get it from Medina. You will be able to get a much higher quality than the US, and it will be much cheaper than here as well. So the ihram is about like $10-15. They're widely available all over, around where we have the hotel, or even if you decide to get it from somewhere else, they are widely available in Medina. I see Sister Amreen. I see your hand up. If you want to unmute yourself, inshallah, and ask your question.
Sister me.
I see a few hands up. Anyone who wants to ask a question, inshallah, just unmute yourself and you can go ahead and ask questions.
Yeah, for like Umrah permit, after we finish Umrah, are we still allowed like next day or day after to go and circle around Kaaba, etc.? Or
So they don't allow you to go in the mataf anymore to just do tawaf. You have to be going for a umrah in order to get close to the Kaaba. But on the second floor, that's without a permit. You can finish your umrah, and if you decide to go do a tawaf, you can go do a tawaf at any time you want.
okay. The second question I have is that for the Rauda, like for my wife and for myself, can we check the same time? Or
You
like
will, they have different timings for the men and women. It won't be possible to take the same time, but you can potentially get a close enough time to each other. and you will need to take it out on you do need the app on your phone and the app on her phone as well too. So you do need to take out separate permits for both of them.
Okay.
It's separate entrances for the men and women, separate timings and everything. They separate it very much in Medina.
But for women, so women and men will can do the Rauda at the same time, or the time where women, because I have been in the past over there, and they used to take us out of Rauda so that the women would take the place.
Exactly. So the men and women are going to the Roda at two separate times, right? So Umrah is something you can do together, but Roda isn't. Roda has, it's, the men and women have separate timings, separate gates, everything.
Okay. And the last question I have is for those who are the first time, especially the first generation in US and here, this is totally new to them. Do you have any like packages or informations that prepare them like emotionally and psychologically and faithfully to that trip?
So inshallah, brother, you actually brought up a great thing. I was going to announce that next Sunday, December, I believe 18th, we're going to be in partnership with our friends at the Islamic Center of Staten Island, having an in-person event at the masjid. But obviously, you guys are in, further south, so you won't be able to make it. And so that'll be hosted virtually as well. So they can definitely join in. We'll have Sheikh Kareem Azat giving the talk, and he'll talk about the spiritual aspects of the trip and the etiquettes and how to perform these things.
Thank you.
You're gonna send the link. Are you gonna send the link for that?
Correct. Exactly. Everything will be in the WhatsApp group, inshallah. So just look out for that.
And you said one more question. You said regarding Zamzam, they do not allow us to take that with us.
Bring it back.
This is an issue that came up in November. They were okay for the last 2 months before that. So for our August group and for our October group, we didn't have any issues. But in November, they have started the Zamzam issues again, unfortunately. And hopefully things get resolved and they allow everyone to take Zamzam. We're just informing everyone, so there is no surprises after you arrive over there and when you're departing. So if they allow Zamzam, inshallah, we will be arranging it at the airport, inshallah, and giving it to everyone. But as of right now, the information we have, they're not allowing us to bring back Zamzam.
Okay. Like when I did it before, we get this jar or bottle and then seal it in plastic in the hotel in Mecca before we go to the airport.
The system, brother, is a little bit different. Last, I would say, 5, 6 years, they have these authorized bottles at the airport. So they're pre-packaged, they're pre-sealed, and they're pre-boxed for you to actually go ahead and check in. So if they allow it, inshallah, we will be arranging it at the airport. Even before that, I remember, like we used to have to go fill up the bottles, and it was a completely different system back then.
Right. And you said one can take like a bottle of water inside the luggage that you
No,
check.
I was saying people have done it. It is something where your luggage may get left behind at the airport in Jeddah. So what ends up happening is when they put it through the scanners, they see the Zamzam inside it or water, like large quantities of water. They stop those luggages. So if you decide to do something like that, please do it on your own risk. Sometimes the luggages do get stuck in Jeddah airport.
I want to make sure that we get a chance to answer everyone's questions. So, we've got hands raised, and that's great. Also, if you want to just throw them in the chat, so that way, if we don't get a chance to do them right now live, we can obviously just answer them later on in our WhatsApp group as well, because I know that these questions are great, and some of us have repeat questions. Brother Imdad and Sister Fatima, you guys have your hands up?
Hi. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
I have a couple of questions. One actually is just a confirmation. So from what you've mentioned earlier, we will be doing Umrah as a group the day that we get to Mecca. So does that mean that as long as we have a permit between 6 p.m. and midnight, we should be okay to join the group and do Umrah?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. And my second question is, how many permits are allowed per person for Rauda and for Umrah? Can we have more than one, or is
For Roda is one permit, and then there's a 30-day waiting period. For Umrah, you can take out as many as you want.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
But
So
just
we're gonna
saying for
take one
Umrah,
more
you have
question,
to
inshallah.
yeah, let me just add to that. For Umrah, you have to finish the first permit before you take out the second one. That's the only difference. But you can take them out. As soon as you're done with one, you can take out your next one.
Excuse
When
me.
we are there, right?
Sorry. Go ahead.
All right, inshallah. So we're gonna take one more question, and then we do need to end the meeting as well. There's another seminar we have for another group that's departing, inshallah. So I see we weren't able to get to a few people. If anyone wants to hop, unmute themselves, inshallah, if they haven't asked a question, and just ask, inshallah, and then we can go ahead and answer it.
Yes, please, if you can't perform Umrah on the same day that the whole group is performing it for some reason, can you do it another day?
Of course, of course. That's if you decide not to do Umrah on that day, you can definitely do on another day, or you can do it multiple times too if you need to.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. So inshallah, we will be available to everyone during the trip as well too, inshallah. So we are ending the meeting, and the recording will be available to everyone, inshallah. So if any further questions, please reach out to our team after 5:30, and we should be available and to answer any questions. All right. Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum assalam.